In 1925, the famous composer Aaron Copland became the first recipient of the Guggenheim Fellowship. 100 years later, a graduate of a CUNY school that carries his name received the same honor. This is a story of a CUNY graduate who became a Guggenheim Fellow and his ability to transform even the smallest detail of his life into music for a big band.
Was in 5th grade. They had this day where you get to try out all the instruments, like they're all there and you get to try all of them: trumpet, trombone, clarinet, flute, saxophone. And I literally just tried one instrument, the trombone. I was like, that's it, I'm done, I'm good. Like, that was it. My father was born in Guangzhou, China, and he came to the United States. He was a vascular surgeon, doctor, and he met my mom, who was a nurse at the same hospital at the time, and that's how they got together. I was really fortunate to go to a really great high school that had an amazing music and arts program. One of the things that the director did there, he had this huge festival every year and he would bring in all these bands from all over. So like, he had like the Count Basie Orchestra would come play, and Duke Ellington, and all these amazing bands would come once a year, and we get a chance to see them up close. And we did a tour of Europe on my last year, so I got to go on the road in a like super cushy way. You know, I had thought I was sort of like better than I really was. And I got to Indiana and quickly realized, like, whoa, okay, I need to get my act together. There's like all these players who are my age or just a little bit older, like running circles around me. And my time in Indiana was a lot of me like filling in those fundamentals and playing the trombone and just like musicianship and skills and all those things. I came to New York in 2005, and then it became clear to me that I really wanted to like learn more about writing and composing, and just wanted to like take my playing to the next level. And I had several friends from Indiana who had moved here, and I was like, yeah, this is where I have to be. If I want to do the things I want to do, I need to come here. There's just such a larger volume of players here. There's a certain element of like music for music's sake, you know, especially if it's a creative thing. It's like, I want to be a part of that because of the music. And you know, if it pays $20, great. If it pays $15, great. Just like, it's all about the music. Like, that's the thing in New York. It's just like music. Queens College was a great experience. I got a chance to work with Michael Mossman and study with Luis Bonilla. They started to give me the opportunity to participate in gigs and things outside of school, especially Luis Bonilla. He really like took me under his wing. He would send me to fill in for him all the time. And he just kind of put me on the map. Around that time is when I kind of caught the bug for writing for large ensemble. He just also opened that door for me too, not only as a player, but also as a composer arranger. That first rehearsal, we got a chance to try out some of those compositions and that I arranged for Luis. I remember vividly feeling like, almost like I was like high. Hair on my arms was standing up like for days. Spending all this time imagining what this stuff is going to sound like. You're trying all these things, and then to have it actually played in front of you, it sort of changed me, I think, from that point on. When you're writing for a quintet, there's a lot more room for improvisation and interaction. You know, the format of it is often very loose. You know, you can kind of audible and make changes and do things, you know, a little more on the fly with it. And when you have 17 people, that's a lot harder to do. You have to find ways to control the chaos. You also have to find something for those people to do. Are they resting? Are they playing? What are they playing? You know, and so there's not as much leeway. It's like you have to answer a lot more questions about how those people are going to contribute to the song. It's like juggling, it's just more balls in the air, and the difference between 5 and 17 is like huge. The dynamic range and the amount of intensity is bigger when you have 17 people. You can get louder and fuller and wider and bigger and grander. And so the range of expression can be a lot bigger. I mean, I think it's Chico Farrell said that, like, you know, at one point the interview asked him, like, what's your instrument? He said, the band's my instrument. It's kind of where the name of the band comes from, the 17-piece instrument, because I believe, okay, all these players, you know, fingers on a keyboard, if you will, they're all specifically, you know, instruments that I'm trying to manipulate. And I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of these players for almost like 10, 20 years now. So I know they're playing really well. I know what they like to do. And sort of tailor it for those specific players. I mean, it's like, you know, Duke Ellington's like famous for that. It's like writing for the specific players. I get more satisfaction out of seeing the other players play the music and bring it to life than I do from myself playing. When I see other people play the music and bring it to life and the joy that it brings to them, and then different players and like connecting with more people, the ability for me to connect with those people through music on a bigger scale is really important to me, and it's something that I like really enjoy, and it's something that I want to keep doing. This one's called Song for Nolan.
Woo! Where is he?
Nolan? Who's Nolan? Where's Nolan?
There he is. Nolan!
Nolan is like the, you know, I don't know what you call it, like ghost leader of the band, if you will. Silent leader. Well, actually, not so silent, yeah. I started writing it in 2020 when he was born, and finally finished it in 2024. And I tell students sometimes, like, that's how long it takes. My wife's a cancer survivor, and you know, we went through several processes to try to get pregnant. And after several cycles of IVF, we came away with 3 embryos. The first 2 didn't work, and he was the last one. And he ended up becoming this amazing part of our life now. The 2 of them have been my biggest supporters, and I honestly wouldn't be here without them. Every time I hear those pieces, it takes me back to those moments in time, and that's why the album's called Points in Time. It's just like, it's a means for me to express the things that I'm feeling during those points. It's an escape also, and it's a musical journal, memoir, if you will, in an audio sense. Music has a way of transforming, you know, people in that way. The big band thing is like, I liken it to like carrying this torch. It's like, okay, I can only hold this for so long because the weight is too heavy, and now like, your turn, you take it, you pass it along. It's so hard. And once you get the momentum going, you're like, okay, let me ride this for a while, but it's so taxing on you. You're not gonna make any money. You're gonna lose a lot of money, but you will gain so much more. And even though like there's all these stop signs and all these like red flags, and you're like, no, don't do this. This is a terrible idea. You know, like, you have to be willing to blow past all those things because you believe so much in what you're trying to do, and you feel like this is something you have to do. It's for the love of doing it.